Well, good morning, everyone. It is Saturday, March 15th. No, it's Saturday, March 14th. um, I am back in my apartment in Montana, so things are starting to get back to normal. It is Saturday, so that is a weigh-in day for me. I wanted to give you a quick update on what my weight is doing and also the diet that I am following right now, anyway, after discussions with my doctors. So hang on, grab a cup of coffee, and we'll be back to chat. All right, first let's get to my weight. Um, while I was in Ohio, I wasn't really um, paying much attention to, I was paying attention to the scale because I was weighing myself every day, but I just wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to my diet. I was living with my son. We were eating differently than what I normally eat. And, when I was making food or buying food, I was also buying it for him. And so it was a whole thing. It was a whole another excuse for me, actually, not to be on any type of weight loss plan. Managed to maintain my weight while I was in Ohio. I actually was right around the same weight when I left as when I got there. When I got back here to Montana, some things changed. Um, First of all, you know, it might be spring back in Ohio, but it's still winter here. So because of that, everything is closed. The restaurants here are closed, and the two or three that are open are closing on Sunday because Yellowstone National Park closes on Sunday for a month, and so all the restaurants are closing. There's hardly anybody in town here. Now we do have two grocery stores. They are going to stay open. If the weather is good, I can go up to Bozeman to Walmart or Winco or something like that to go do my grocery shopping. But there's small little locally owned restaurants here or grocery stores here that I prefer to shop at, even though I might be paying a little bit more. So I am forced now to cook at home, which, thank goodness, because, eating out and ordering DoorDash back in Ohio wasn't doing me any favors. So I did weigh in today, and I was expecting a gain because, I was traveling this week. I'm just getting settled back into the whole work routine. It's what, almost 11 o'clock. I have to go to work at 3. I work 3 to 11 today. I worked 7 to 3 um, Thursday and yesterday, but I'm on 3 to 11 for the next couple of weeks, at least through the end of the month, just until the other work campers get here, and then I think I'm back on days. But nevertheless, Saturday I'm still able to weigh in because I don't uh, go in until 3 o'clock, at least for the next couple of weeks. So anyway, uh, like I said, I was expecting a gain. I was on the scale yesterday and it didn't look like my weight was going to move at all. So here's what happened on the scale today. I was pleasantly surprised that I had a loss today. Um, I'm attributing that solely to the way I've had to eat the last couple days. Now, before I left, I did have a discussion with my surgeon about the diet that I need to follow. He did suggest to me, strongly suggest to me, that I follow a whole foods plant-based diet. Did say I could have occasionally lean meats, such as turkey and chicken and fish. I mean, he said, and he emphasized, and mostly fish. He said, if you have red meat, make sure it's a lean red meat and eat it only very rarely. So I utilized Chat GPT to create a menu plan for me because on top of that, my colon stuff, I also have to follow a renal safe diet, so that my kidneys may improve a little bit. So I I asked Chat GPT to do a couple things. First of all, to give me the renal diet, and then also something that would follow like the Weight Watchers old Whole 30 plan that they had a few years back. And what they came up was pretty good. Now, it's mostly whole grains because I asked it to be based on whole food but plant-based foods. So it's mostly whole grains, very limited processed foods. Um, and these are all safe for my kidneys. So I'm eating a little bit more white flour and white rice than what I normally would, but my surgeon said it's okay for me to have high fiber. So my Weight Watcher points are typically going to be very low. My calories are typically going to be low because I also asked the Chat GPT to design this for maximum weight loss. Now, that didn't mean fast weight loss, just overall maximum weight loss. So, for instance, yesterday I had for breakfast some cream of wheat, which I weighed out at 33 grams. That's 3 points on Weight Watchers. I had strawberries, which I am weighing out on my fruit again. So 60 grams of strawberries. I am putting unsweetened soy milk on my cereal. So I had 120 milligrams of that. And then I am having my half and half, or uh, what I have here is heavy whipping cream. Basically, the only real fat I'm getting is in my coffee. So I had half and half yesterday in my coffee. And then for lunch, I had some brown rice, which I weighed out at 130 grams. I mixed that with 50 grams of garbanzo beans and 100 grams of cucumber. Uh, so that was all, I think, 4 points for the rice, maybe five. And then last night I had some pasta, which was 130 grams, which is basically a serving of one serving of pasta according to the package. So, because pasta typically uh, doubles in size, doubles in weight when you bulk it up with water. So, I had the serving of pasta, and which was 5 points. I mixed that with some green cabbage and some carrots, and put salt and pepper on it. And that was my dinner, and my snack was an apple. So, uh, I think my total calories for the day were about 1,100. And that's okay. So don't get wigged out by that. I'm okay. If I'm hungry, I'll snack on a cucumber or a carrot or any type of fresh vegetable or fruit that I have here. So, and that wasn't the case yesterday. And I'm drinking water. I have my mug that I have here. I take this to work. Yesterday, I think at work I had three of these, and I do put ice in it, so maybe that much water because I packed this with ice. And I filled it up 3 times and drank that, and then I had two more when I got home. So I'm drinking water. With more fiber, I have to drink water to make sure things are going. So today for breakfast, I'm having my coffee. This is the heavy cream. Now there's 5 points in this coffee, and I need to do something on my computer here. It was doing an upgrade. This program upgrades like every 3 days, I think. Anyhow, and I have an upgrade story to tell you too. Anyway, so this morning I have this. This is 5 points in my coffee. And when I get to work, then it's going to be 3 o'clock. So I'm not going to drink coffee at work. I'll just stick with my water. I've already weighed out my 30 grams of oats. Actually, I think I weighed out 32 grams. Old-fashioned oats was a 0. I'm going to have 60 grams of strawberries in that. I haven't eaten it yet. Another 120 grams of the unsweetened soy milk. So that's my breakfast, 5 points, and that's the points are on my coffee. For lunch, before I go to work, I'm having another 130 grams of cooked brown rice. I don't know if I put that in my, uh, I might have put it in my tracker already. That's 4 points for the brown rice. Uh, 50 grams of the low sodium black beans. I do have dry black beans that I can cook here. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I did have a can in the cupboard of the low sodium beans, which is what I need. Because remember, I have to watch my sodium and my potassium and my phosphorus. For there's all kinds of things I have to watch now. Um, but anyway, so I'm having that, which is 0 points. Mixing that with romaine lettuce and some cucumber. So I have a 4 point lunch. And then what I'm taking for dinner is some again some cooked white pasta, which I believe is 4 points. I'm going to have 80 grams of broccoli in that, 100 grams of carrots, and then I'm just putting tomato sauce on top of that. Tomato sauce is 2 points because I couldn't find any no sugar here in town. So I'm probably going to have to go back to making my own tomato sauce, but that's that's a problem for future Sue. So anyway, I'm going to have a total of 6 points for dinner, and then my snack, which I'll take for me for work, is 110 grams of an apple, which is about a little more than half of an apple. So if you have to watch stuff like I have to watch, it's important to weigh those things out. And that's my day. So you can see mostly whole grains and very limited processed stuff. So the pasta that I got was Rouse pasta, which was the least processed pasta I could find, um, with ingredients that were wholesome. And then I'm basically for breakfast, I'm switching out my breakfast cereals between old fashioned oats and cream of wheat. So the pretty much the structure is that for breakfast, the grain, the fruit, the soy milk, and my coffee. That's what I have, and I'm just alternating those breakfasts every day. And lunch, I have a starch, um, a, a bean of some sort, and a vegetable of some sort. And same thing for dinner. I have a grain, vegetables, and yeah, that's about it. Grains and vegetables. And then my snacks are fruits. So that's what I have right now. And this is kind of the plan I'm following for the next 2 weeks. And then after this plan is over with, there is another thing that I'm graduating to, which is a little bit, believe it or not, a little bit more restricted, which is basically full blown whole grain or whole food plant based. So we'll see how this goes. See how my kidneys handle it. See how my colon handles it. Right now, everything is my colon's working well, so it's doing what it's supposed to do when it's supposed to do it. So the surgery was a success. Um, and I'm looking forward to, after being on this diet for a few days, that my energy levels will start to come back, because honestly, after surgery, my energy levels took a nosedive, which is expected, but the food that I was eating wasn't helping. And all of you know that, from being on uh, weight loss plans for a while, that one big improvement you always see when you're following a healthier way of eating is your energy levels increase. So I hope I'm doing this early enough where by summertime, when I want to get out of the trails, my energy level is going to be back up where I want it to be. Other than that, and plus, I have to tell you, eating this way, it's cheap. It's cheap to buy a bag of rice. It's cheap to buy a bag of potatoes. I get potatoes tomorrow, so I'm actually kind of excited about that. But for the most part, this stuff is cheap. I'm not buying meat, so I'm not spending that money, which, right now is something I'm really conscientious about. So, but it's cheap. I did. I went to the grocery store for 2 weeks. Um, I went. What day was? I went on Thursday after work. I went to the grocery store and bought everything I needed for the next 2 weeks, except for I forgot broccoli. So I'm going to head over after I eat breakfast. I'm heading over to the store just to pick up some broccoli. Um, and of course, I picked up some personal items too. But I spent about $120 for 2 weeks, and then including things like I needed some shampoo and some toiletries and stuff like that. So food wise, it was maybe $100 for 2 weeks, which right now It's still more than what I want to spend, but you know, overall it's pretty cheap. Had I added meat to this, it would have been a lot more money. And that was at the local grocery store here, which is more expensive than like at Walmart. I could have chopped cheaper at Walmart. I just didn't want to drive 90 miles up to Bozeman. Plus, we had that windstorm come through that you all got back east, and cars were flipping over all over the place, and I have an itty bitty little car. So, anyway, that's what I'm doing. And then in 2 weeks, I'll let you know about the new plan that I'm following. I have to get that into my formatted menu plan yet to kind of make sense of it. But it is like, I think it was called the Ultimate Physician's Renal Whole Foods Plant Based Diet that ChatGPT came up with um, for maximum weight loss. So now let me tell you my upgrade story before I forget. So when I was in Ohio, my iPhone, the iOS did another update. And so I get back here to get in my car, and all of a sudden my Apple CarPlay is gone. Uh, Everything else worked, but Apple CarPlay would not be recognized on my car any longer because it wasn't being recognized on my phone. It disappeared off of my phone. So yesterday I wasn't very busy at work, and so I was, looking up on how to get Apple CarPlay back onto my Play, not Pay, um, back on my phone. So I was able to actually do that, and I thought, oh great, when I get in my car now, it's going to pop back up. Because I travel so much, I need that map option, and I want it up on my screen. I was still able to pull the maps up on my phone, but it wasn't projecting onto my screen in my car. So got in the car after work. It still wouldn't recognize it wouldn't project. So then I figured out, well, it wasn't connecting to my car for some reason. I had to go through a lot of stuff. So last night I was so tired. I laid down about 6 o'clock, and I thought I'm just going to go to bed and deal with it tomorrow morning. And I couldn't sleep then because I kept, you know, fussing in my head about this Apple CarPlay thing. And in the grand scheme of things, it's probably pretty stupid to do that. But so I got out of bed, got back on. I got a hold of Apple support, and they were able to walk me through everything. And I couldn't tell you how I did it, but I finally got Apple CarPlay back on my car, and got my car to recognize my phone. But it was a glitch in the software that they had done on that update. So I'm thinking, God, darn it, that's just. I get so upset with that iPhone update all the time, and it's like they say they fix glitches, and they seem to cause more problems than what they fix. So. Well, anyway, this video has gotten pretty long. I just wanted to give you my weigh-in update. Um, I am going to try to start videoing my food. I'm not sure I'm going to do daily videos yet. I'm going to try to work back to that. But right now, my main focus is just to start getting uh, settled back in here, getting back into my work routine. I have to tell you, it's great to be back at work. I loved it being there, seeing my friends from my coworkers, but just having people to talk to every day. It just, it makes a world of difference. And I think it's great for your mental health and in the whole healing process of everything. So it's wonderful to be back. I need to start going through some things here because I'll be moving back into my trailer here in about 5 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks. Depending on the weather, of course. But I brought a lot of stuff here from my trailer, pretty much emptied my trailer out, and I don't want to put everything back in my trailer. So there's that whole thing. Anyhow, what was I saying? Oh, about my work. No, about, I forget now. It's gone. Oh, my food. That's what it was about my videos and everything. I'm going to try to work back up into um, recording my food every day and getting you up a video every day of what I'm eating so that you kind of follow along on what this diet plan is that I'm doing. I'm still logging everything into the Weight Watchers app, even though this isn't actually what you would call a Weight Watchers menu. I am still using that Weight Watchers map to track points because I think it's important, and my calories, and some of the other macronutrients that I need to follow, which yes, I know are available in other apps, but I've done well on Weight Watchers, and eventually I will start adding lean meats and fish back into my diet, and it won't be for a while. So that's that. I hope you have a great day. Today is 3/14. It is Pie Day. I am not going to have pie today. I had thought about it and I thought, no, this defeats the whole purpose, Sue, because I admittedly I have a sugar problem. But anyway, that's me, not you. So you guys have a great day, and I will be back to you soon. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.